Hello and welcome to IT Chronicles 10 and Tech. We're here in Las Vegas, Nevada for a ServiceNow Knowledge 18 session. Today we're here with Kirsty McGowan as my co-host.
Hi, Carlos.
And our long-lost friend, Mr. Forrester now, right? Principal Analyst, I believe, Charlie Betz. Welcome, Charlie.
That'd be me.
Charlie,
Thanks
it's
for,
great
thanks
to
for
have you sitting here with us.
Yeah.
So, enterprise service management. We've been hearing the buzz as we've got to knowledge, and obviously for a long time before that. I'm still wondering if it's anything new, but do you want to tell us what your take on it is?
Well, certainly we've used these service management tools, these workflow tools, in a wide variety of applications for a long time.
Yes.
I mean, Remedy ARS was just a generalized workflow and help desk tool.
Yep.
And then ITIL came along, and there was a real focus on helping the IT department, which was, kind of like a gang of clowns, or at least appeared to be a gang of clowns to the rest of the enterprise. And in fact, and with some compassion for IT, it's actually a really hard area to run and get right and provide those services, which was why some of the most advanced workflow automation started to really focus on the IT problem. But these are general purpose tools, and you can use them for a wide variety of purposes.
Right. Yep. Yeah, it's it's grown. I mean, especially a lot of us that have been around for years and years. But you're in your new capacity now. You're really looking at the full scope of all the different tools and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see it going? I mean, I know some of it's just like rebranding name stuff. We joke like that, but you're looking at it really in depth. So where do you see it going? And you've survived, some of the early years.
Yeah.
Where do you see that transitioning?
Well, just to go back a little bit, at first, when I first came into Forrester, I was very skeptical about ESM. In fact, I've still got some blogs out there, that will show that.
That they haunt you with?
I haven't rolled them back yet.
Yeah.
But when I actually started interviewing the vendors, and more to the point, interviewing their customers, I began to realize that there was just this common story of a customer would bring in a tool with a decent service portal, and they would do an okay job with setting up, desktop support, get me a new cell phone, help install software on my PC, whatever.
Sure.
And then, time and again, the facilities department would knock on the door of the CIO and say, that request portal, we've needed something like that. People just send us emails and we lose them, And so facilities would wind up with this little box on the service portal.
Yes.
Yep.
And this just kept expanding. And it really has been an organic development that in some cases has actually mystified the IT service management vendors.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are some who will say that this is this big marketing plot on the part of the IT service management vendors. My response to that is no, they haven't been that smart.
Yeah, they didn't see it coming.
Yeah, no, they really didn't.
Yeah, that's really surprising.
It's funny. It's like we've all been through the onboarding process.
Yes, exactly.
And you look at these companies and you're like, how this should be one of these that we've all done it at least 5 times.
Yep. Exactly.
Why is this not just how it happens?
Yep.
Yeah.
You need a laptop, you need a cube, you need a this or that, and yet.
Yet employees are our most valuable asset, blah, blah, blah. So let's get the new one, let's let the new one sit there dead in the water for 3 months.
Yep.
And it's been taken as being an IT process too.
Exactly.
Why is bringing an employee on an IT process?
Yeah.
Okay, they need some IT capability,
Yeah.
but that's not the bulk of it.
And this really gets to the question you were asking before, where is this going to go?
Yeah.
Because it really is not about IT service management, it is about service management.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, I have to...
We've had a lot of conversations around that before,
We've had a lot of
Charlie.
conversations over the years, and I've come around, full circle. And what's interesting, when you look at service management, you think about what it really means. As you know, I've always had an interest in this whole question of ERP for IT.
Yes.
Yep.
And so why didn't we see the SAPs and the PeopleSofts and the Oracles of the world actually creating functional modules for the CIO the way that they would help people running factories, which is where that whole thing came from with materials requirements planning.
Sure.
Now, if you are running a factory and you are tracking assets and materials in progress you know where your iron ingots are.
Yeah.
You know, your rolled steel. You've got half a ton of it, or you've
Yeah.
got 3 tons of it
Yeah.
on the shop
You better
floor
know where it
plant
is.
in
Yeah, you hope
Schenectady
so.
or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And so work in progress is completely visible
Yeah.
Yep.
to the manufacturing and basically the major industries of the 20th century.
Sure.
Peter Drucker, later in the 20th century, said, "What will the 21st century look like? It will be the rise of the knowledge worker."
Yep.
Yep.
What is the work in progress of the knowledge worker? Well, I'm going to channel a guy named Don Reinertson here. The work in progress for the knowledge worker is invisible. It's hidden in email boxes
Yep.
and in telephone messages and in broken SharePoint
But it's great because now we have
Yep.
new vehicles
Yeah.
for them to communicate for that to also, so you
Exactly.
can also lose it in Slack and Yammer.
You can lose it anywhere.
Because now you
lose-
have
yeah,
new vehicles to hide it.
to
Yeah.
hide it and
Yeah.
lose it. And yet, if I were running a modern knowledge-centric firm, and I think McKinsey Global Institute, I've got a slide I use with one of their statistics on it, it says up to 20% of your time is spent just looking for information, let
Yes.
alone all the other services like contract approvals or updating master data or getting something out of the marketing department or,
Right.
there's all of these intangible services, and we've got no visibility to that work in progress.
Yeah.
We have nothing comparable to the visibility that they have built in the manufacturing sector. And I believe that that is really the organic driver for why ESM is going to be so big.
Yep.
You know, and is it new wine and old wine in new bottles? Maybe to some extent, but it's also always a question of timing.
Right.
Yep.
You know, the industry, we really weren't having the conversations about digital transformation and cloud and consumerization. Computing was less powerful back then.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we've got, immensely capable resources and capabilities. That are,
Well, and I think the thing is for us that have been around for a while,
yeah.
we have been kind of talking about those things, but maybe and it's not a tools problem per se, but some of the ideas that we've seen and we've
Yeah.
wanted to see couldn't be enabled. They weren't legitimately capable to happen at the pace and cadence and stuff. And and you were talking about the manufacturing side. That's really I don't think we still have enough people, especially in leadership roles, that really view it as a manufacturing. As software as a manufacturing line.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we still need to get to that point where they do see that. Then the theory of constraints kind of plays into
Yes.
effect and all that sort of stuff. But that's the key is it's growing, and it's great to hear that you're seeing a little bit more traction.
Yeah.
But we need more people.
But if I
Yeah,
could, but if I
exactly.
can just jump in though, because the manufacturing analogy with respect to digital and service management is helpful, and Gene Kim, no less,
Yep.
author of the Phoenix Project, has harvested a lot from manufacturing, but you can get it wrong.
Oh yeah, oh absolutely,
And
absolutely.
what
And we do all the time,
What
yeah.
is the difference?
We do that very well.
Yeah.
What is the difference today? What is the changing nature of the work? The easy, simple, non-variable, less variable work is all being automated.
Yes.
What are we left with? We're left with high variability work that is less certain of outcome. It has less even arrival rates. And so we need different math. We need, we can't just blindly use, for example, the mathematics that were used in the original MRP systems.
Right, right.
The statistical distributions don't follow nice bell curves anymore. They got long, nasty tails,
Yep. Yes.
with black swans at the end
Yep.
of them. And so we have to really be cognizant, that the manufacturing metaphor is powerful, but in both R&D, which is the agile DevOps world, as
Yep.
well as high-touch service,
Right.
both of these classes of work are both more variable, less certain of outcome, and we need the right tooling to handle that correctly.
Yeah, and I think the way we've been talking about it, because I've been working with Kevin Baer for the last 6-9 months now, and we talk about it in terms of the human factor has to be where the judgment is required. If the human judgment isn't required, let's find a way to
Let the
automate
machine
that.
do it.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
you don't need that personal
Yeah.
touch, then
Yeah,
do
exactly.
the automation. Well, Charlie, it's been amazing talking to you as
It's
always.
like
And-
2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
It's
we just
crazy.
need to keep going. There's so much more we could talk about. Your
Yeah.
book, IT for IT, everything else. But
Yeah.
we'll have to leave those subjects for another time.
For another time.
So thanks for coming and
Yeah.
joining us
Thanks,
today.
Charlie.
Talk to you, Bob.
Thank you.